Bro, freaking me out. Those have eyes, people. I don't mean to talk shit, but that creepiness. You know, where I live, I never know what is people just fucking around with some fireworks, what's thunder, and what is gunfire. So I know that a couple homeless people have been camping out in like little wooded areas, and I know a couple of them have found some housing where I just walked by, but some of them just have eyes. I'm just like, oh fuck no, I'm out. I will karate chop someone in the face. I'm just saying. But I just get those vibes, like, and that's what sucks. Like, I'm all for helping the homeless, but not all homeless people are good people, and you gotta be careful. And you know, it's sad that they're getting closer and closer to residential residential areas. But let's face it, I would rather be homeless out here than in the city. You can find a place to camp out and not be bothered by the po-pos, and you know, you're more likely to get help out here. People are friendly, you know. But it's just crazy to me on the extent, the amounts of homeless that are really around. I've always been around it my whole life. Anyone who kind of grew up in hood areas is used to it. You have your regulars, you have your local homeless that are there all year, even in winter. They just frequent local shelters, or you know, they live on the generosity of the people around. We do kind of look after our local crazies. I know that's degrading, but it's also true, and it's sad that our state doesn't take care of them. Like, clearly these people are schizophrenic, I would assume, only because they usually talk to things that aren't there. They can get really violent really quickly, hot-tempered, but you know, these people are supposed to have people in their life looking after them and making sure they're keeping up with their health and their medication, and they can live very functional lives if they have that medication, if they have people looking out for them. But when you don't, and you don't have access to medicine, you know, when you don't have sorry those pains again, and it's fucking with my breathing and my train of thoughts. But anyway, when they don't have somebody reminding them to consistently take a shower, most of these people can't hold down jobs. They just don't have the functionality to be able to do that, or be reliable even, or remember that they have a shift. A lot of these people need like job coaches, people that go to work with you, to help you appropriately deal with the public and, you know, your coworkers. Without that, they can't seem to function. They don't remember to eat, and if they do have the medication, a lot of those medications fuck with your appetite, and so they get like really rail thin. People think they're druggies when really they just have a mental illness, and they're not being properly watched and taken care of, which is sad. But there's so many of them, it's hard for any shelter to really keep up. And shelters depend on the generosity of the people in the area to continuously give to them in tax money. And let's face it, New York isn't you know, doing very well. They're not getting a lot of funding. So it's getting scary out here, and more families are living in their vehicles because the cost of rent is just ridiculous. I really hope that in this election somebody really addresses rent control, like how much they can charge by square footage and area, and based on like minimum wage in the area, because it would help a lot of states like mine, where everybody kind of generates the regular standard price for the state because by the city, but the city makes more in minimum wage than the rest of the state, and so it's unrealistic for the rest of us to keep up with those prices. So any kind of rent control would be beneficial for outside of city areas or middle to poor class areas. Like, I'm really trying to work. Like, I really fucking wanted to retire from this panel. I really wanted to stop being connected to any kind of, like, establishment. I don't like organized religion. I don't like organized politics. I don't really want to be a part of any kind of club or organization, but I do believe in change. And I know that to be in a position to change the world, you have to be around and near powerful people. And I can play the game as good as the rest of them when I need something done, but I fucking hate it. It's not my calling. I don't enjoy it. And when I mean play the game, I care about real, genuine, and effective change for my class of people, because I don't have enough people out here in politics representing poor or like areas. I really need more funding for schools, more funding for shelters and food pantries. We need better medical care. We need more affordable plans, more jobs to offer benefits, and 401k and retirement. And the skunky smell, I'm out of here. I don't want to get sprayed by a skunk. That's one thing I can't order. That's one thing that's good about not having a car in this day and age. I can Uber and I can get my groceries delivered. Saving my life right now. Anyway, so that's another thing. A lot of my people depend on their cars to work multiple jobs and feed their families, but this country is making a car so unaffordable. Car payments, car insurance, just getting a car in general, getting a loan is hard. And if we depend on it for places like mine who don't have public transportation, like we don't have a subway system here, we barely have a bus system. In some parts of the city you can depend on the buses, but where I am, I'm too far out. I'm a suburb, and they don't come out this far, and if they do, you have to ride into the city to go to the bus hub. And the New York State Fair is starting, and they pull a lot of buses to be able to get people to and from the fair all day. So for 2 weeks a year, we can't depend on the bus because we hold the state fair. But now I heard this year they have a direct train from New York City all the way here to Syracuse's state fair. So if you live in the city, you can get to the fair on the train. It goes to and from, so you can go there all day, ride the train back. I don't know what the last one is, but our last bus leaves at midnight, so I'm assuming the last train leaves at midnight, so you can, get on the earliest one. I don't know how long it would take by train. It goes pretty fast, especially with sorry, just try to talk and hiccup at the same time. Weird. But I think it's probably 4 hours max, if that, even by train as fast as they're going. So that's a lot quicker than driving it. As I said, I'm closer to the Canadian border than I am to New York City. I'm basically Canada, where I'm way up north, where it's cold and tough and wild. Ask people in New York City, they don't hang with Syracuse. Syracuse is a scary place. Nobody wants to come here. It's like a shithole ghetto hood. Like, there's only really one good chunk of the city, and you drive through it really fast, and it hides the rest of the shit. Like, we just keep the tourists on those main roads that are good, but we don't let them come off it because they'll probably get shot. Like, that's the kind of place Syracuse is. Yeah. I grew up here all my life. I don't want to die here. I'm just saying. Probably be another one. I don't know about what, but you're keeping me company in the nighttime. Ooh, look at stars. I would show you, but you can't see them. I love stargazing, but then I walk into stuff like, oh shit, pay attention. I have ADHD. I get distracted by everything. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely night. At least it's not pouring rain for once. Ooh, it's a thumbnail moon. Thumbnail moon. That's what I call them. I love you guys. See you again soon. Bye.